PWE Music. I'm Dr. Patrick Englert, and if you're still here, thanks for sticking around. I hope the first part of the performance of this etude is helpful to you. And here we are again with another in the 2025 series of All-State Audition Etude resource videos. In this video, we're looking at the second selection for the Texas All-State program, and that is the Andantino by Heinze on page 32 of the Voxman Selected Studies. So this is the slow lyrical selection of these three, and here we have a few points, tips to consider when you're preparing this etude. First, and this is kind of a big one when I teach slower, more lyrical etudes, and that is you want to develop a solid pulse before you go playing with rubato and doing some of the more expressive elements. So what that means is we want to practice with a metronome, make sure we have a nice solid pulse, we're keeping good time, and we're developing solid pulse internally, so when we take the metronome away, we can still feel that nice, solid, steady pulse. And we want to do this because when we take that metronome away, when we're playing all by ourselves, we want to give the listener something solid to hang on to. A pitfall of the slower, more expressive etudes is we can kind of lose that sense of time and everything becomes very nebulous, which is very confusing to a listener. And if we can give them that nice, steady, like rock solid pulse underneath, that's going to really help with their enjoyment of it or your score if you're being judged on something like this. So, like I said, start with the metronome, play it as metronomically as you can, and then once you have that solid foundation, you can go and be a little more expressive, play with rubato and time a little bit more. Second, we want to remember that dynamics are proportional. So what this means is that there's no specific number that a piano is we look at on a decibel meter, or no specific number that a forte is. It's all in comparison to one another. And the way that I build on this is we want to consider our piano. Soft, but full tone. And if we can do that, that leaves us room to get softer. That leaves us, we're playing clarinet. We can still do that niente entrance and everything. But it makes our piano comfortable to achieve with room to get softer. And hopefully we can build off of that and work on getting a nice, powerful, full forte as well. Consider this etude. We start in the first measure with piano. Now I know that the niente entrance is very alluring, but it's very difficult to control. And if you're having difficulty with that, having a nice solid start in time is much better than kind of guessing where it is and having that F go on really long while you're waiting for the tone to enter. So remember, piano can be full tone and soft. It doesn't have to be the softest you can play. We want to have room to get softer. Third, in this etude, one of the challenges we have is playing through the phrase and making it as connected as possible. So with our air, we want to make sure we have nice consistent air and we're playing through the phrases with our air. We're not stopping it, we're not doing what I call blowing at the notes, where we kind of puff the air and pulse it with each pitch. We want to think of up and over these kind of hills and valleys that we have in our phrasing. So what this means is, as we go higher in a phrase or in a figure, we don't want to reach and pinch to get that top note. Like we're climbing a mountain, we're getting to the top, and we're just barely getting it. No, we want to be powerful with our air, blow through that top note into the next note or the next two notes so that that phrase stays nice and connected through the peak. Last, this is a smaller one, but we want to make sure the trills stay in character. So yes, we have to move our fingers quickly, but trying to go for the fastest bumblebee trill where we're getting as many trills in there as possible in a short amount of time. Several of these trills are on 16th notes or 8th notes where we don't necessarily have forever to play them. We want to make sure rather that they stay in character. So don't worry about putting as many trills in there and getting that, like I said, bumblebee trill. Make sure it stays in character. It can start a little slower, but we can tail it off at the end. So we're really not putting all that many trills in there. It can stay in character and we don't have to move our fingers quite as much to make that happen. So that's a very high level look at this etude. I know there's a lot more work that goes into this than just those points, but hopefully that's a good starting point to get you practicing and getting you right on your way with preparing this etude. Again, if you have any questions, throw them down in the comments. I'll try to address them best I can. Make sure you subscribe so you get the rest of the videos in this series as they come out. And happy practicing.